Alrighty. Hello, hello. I am the Prompt Wizard, and today we are going to talk about using the SDXL model, the new model from Stability AI, and specifically I'll be using it with SDnext, which is also called Vlad 1111. It's a branch of Automatic 1111. So I don't use Comfy AI. As much as I do enjoy node-based stuff, I like to stick with what I know, and SDnext is very close to normal automatic 1111. So let's talk about what you need to do. So first of all, if you're checking out this model, I can only assume that you already have some sort of stable diffusion type of thing installed. So you probably already have Git and Python installed. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Hugging Face and search for Stability AI. And you'll notice here we have a whole bunch of models that are available. So we're going to go to Stable Diffusion XL Base 0.9. It's going to come up to this page. You're going to click on Files and Versions. Okay, and we are then going to come over here to this Safe Tensors file. I'm going to click Download. And then when I save as, I'm going to save in two places. If you're using SDnext, I have mine saved in Models Stable Diffusion. And I also have it saved, because I was not sure where it would be accessed, in diffusers. Okay? Because this is a type of model that will be is a diffuser model. Okay, so let's cancel this out. Okay. Now, additionally, although I'm not using them at the moment, there's also on that same page this refiner, and this goes with it. It's downloadable here. I haven't used that yet. I've only just begun experimentation with it, and as I only have a 3070 Ti with 8 gigs, I didn't want to push it too much, with my system, so I haven't really started using that yet. So at that point, you need to install SDnext. So this is at this address here, github.com, Vlad Mandik Automatic. And it is very much like Automatic 1111, but it has a bunch of plugins installed already, works a little faster, has some nice things, and it has always has nice new features that are coming out. Not quite as stable as Automatic 1111, but almost. So you install Python and Git. Okay, if you're using Automatic 1111, you already have all this installed. So then you pick a folder and you run this git command. Okay, and this will go ahead and install the SDnext instance for you, and you then place those files, like I said, in the models stable diffusion folder and the models diffuser folder. When I know which one actually works, I'll be happy to post that. I'm just not sure, and I wanted to just get it working. So once all that's done, okay, you're going to see in the installation folder the web UI.bat. So I have one on my desktop here, and let me change my view a little. Okay. So right here, I've got SDnext for SDXL. And when I right-click this and I go to Properties, okay, you can see that I have added to the target some arguments. So dash dash backend diffusers gets it ready to use that model. Now, this one, med VRAM, this one will make it so that my computer, since it only has the 8 gig video card, will run a little easier. And then auto launch, get rid of listen, I don't need that. Auto launch will automatically pop it up in my browser. Okay, so once it's installed, okay, when you click it for the first time, it'll install a bunch of stuff. But this is what the startup will look like. It's loading the model. I have a lot of plugins, so yours may not look like mine. I was worried that it might not be able to load while streaming, but apparently my computer can handle it. Okay. And interestingly, you will notice that here you can see that it used all 8 gigs of my video memory and then an additional 1.5 gigs from my 64 gigs of RAM that my computer has. And when making pictures, I noticed that the total RAM use is around 16 gigs, but 8 is pulling from my main RAM, and it is moving rather quickly, surprisingly. So let's go back to just this, just back to this screen here. Okay, and let's talk about it. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to come over here to settings. Okay, and so we're going to go to diffuser settings. Okay, and when I had any of this differently, it would not work. This is what is working for me right now. Sequential CP offload caused an error, but apparently it's able to do the model offload. I had to select this. It looks like there is quite a future planned for this software. I'm pretty excited. So you set that all up, and at that point you might want to restart SDnext just to make sure that everything loads correctly, and you're ready to go. So let's see. Hopefully that clears up any questions anyone has about installation. Let me try to get my memory as good as possible here. Okay. So next you would want to load out of your checkpoints. You'll see the SDXL base. Now on mine, I had to load it. I got an error. I had to close SDnext and then restart it. And then it loaded correctly. Okay, so you'll see it doesn't have as many samplers, right? Only has these 5 here. But it does make pictures at 1024 by 1024. High-res fix did not work correctly, so I was not using it, but my high-res fix usually is just getting a picture from 512 to 1K anyways. And you'll see there's a number of other things going on in SDnext you may not have seen. System information, which tells all about your system. It has an interrogator for getting prompts or analyzing pictures and so on. Pretty cool image browser and so on. But today what we're going to do is we're going to just take some basic stable diffusion 1.5 prompts and try them out and see what we get. Hey there. So what do I think the main differences, I'm getting a chat question here, are between 1.5 and XL? So in testing last night, what I found was that XL was much better for photos. It really did not do the greatest job in pulling artists. So, for example, one of my favorite artists is Boris. Boris Vallejo. So a quick tip, some people might not know, you can see what artists are involved in a model by typing just the artist name to generate. You can see it does not take a whole minute. Look how fast it's already down to 20 seconds. So as you can see, this model has Boris Vallejo in it. You know, that's very reminiscent of his artwork. So even though he's mentioned it there, though, I find that it was very hard to specify, oh, I want this artist or that artist style, especially because for my illustrative characters, I use a combination of artists. Sometimes 3, sometimes a group of 9, to get specific looks. And so as soon as I did that with SDnext, the pictures came out cartoony. But on the other hand, let's try a photoreal prompt for a minute here. Where's the one that I was gonna? Let's see here. Hold on. Okay, so this prompt here. Let me use this one. Okay. Close-up of a European woman, ginger hair, winter forest. Notice how it has a number of things. Raw photo really brings out photos when you say raw. Also, when it says 24 millimeter or other lens sizes or film types, people say, oh, it doesn't know what that means, blah, blah, blah. Well, I disagree. I find a lot of them, while it may not make a 24 millimeter size or an 80 millimeter or whatever, it gives it a certain photo look because certain images out of the millions, or I don't know if it's billions yet, or if it is of images, were tagged. I don't think someone went over all of those by hands. And so some of them must have been tagged as photos, had something about that, because those characteristics bring out stuff. But anyways, let's look at a real quick photorealistic one of these prompts here. Now, Dat Caffey, I must admit, that's just my opinion, you know, but let's see here. All right, so she looks a little over gingerized, but that's a pretty good photo, especially for a base model. So this isn't the model that we'll all be using that's trained on more photos or more art or whatever. This is just the base model. Now, one interesting thing you can do, let's do a little XY graph. Let's do a sampler check. Let's try all 5 samplers and see how they come out with that prompt. Since today is more of, to be honest, is testing. I mean, this could all crash, and you know that would just be, you know, we'll see. So it's chugging down 5%. So just take a moment. But this way, what we'll be able to do is see what this prompt will do for all 5 of those types of samplers. So I'm assuming eventually there'll be other types that will just get added in as I see new ones appear at times. It's true. It's true. Some of the values I don't really change that much. So, for example, for me, CFG7 is usually around where I want it to be. Somewhat creative, but not, super strict by the prompt always. Clip skip I always have on 1 for photos and 2 for illustrative. You know, I don't really use the code former, which is for correcting photo eyes, and GFP-GAN, which is correcting illustrative eyes and things. I don't really use those. And I do some upscaling and other things other places. So, when I use normal Stable Diffusion, I do use the high-res fix latent up to 1K. So basically, this model is letting me just go right to 1K. So I don't really use more than 30 steps. Usually it seems like a waste. And I don't really use the same seed very often. I achieve consistency with characters through prompts that have various actors combined in percentages. And okay, so 1 more minute and we'll have this sampler test, and then we'll go on to some other more interesting prompts. So it's still working, and it's actually saying right now that it's using all 8 gigs of my video card and an additional 9 gigs from my standard memory. And I'm getting around 1 to 1.5 iterations a second. Oh, finishing. It's just making the XY graph. There we go. All right, so here you can see the different ones, how they come out. So obviously she's having a freckle problem, but it's very good eyes, even around the lips there. Dim just doesn't work right ever with this. Euler and Euler A. I like Euler A personally. Looks the smoothest, and Hewn looks interesting. I don't know. I've been doing AI art since it came out, and I installed Stable Diffusion close to the beginning, and I've had a lot of side jobs with it, and I've made some cool things for people. I've used it a lot in my gaming, my Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and I'm actually working with a startup right now on something that's going to be cool, and it's actually Vlad is involved and some other cool people, and I'm also doing Midjourney seminars, so that's what I've been up to with AI. So let's do here. Let's try this one. And also, one thing I forgot, thank God, I need to remember now. Not safe for work. Nude. We don't want any wrong pictures coming out on a Twitch stream. So, let's see what happens here. Oops. Stop. Turn this off. So we're going to go with Euler A. Looks like it's having trouble stopping the graph from being made. So we'll let it run for a minute. I guess we'll have a graph with the portrait of the man. So that'll be one thing we'll have to. Didn't seem to be able to stop it there, and I don't want to just reload it. Oh, here we go. It did stop. Okay, so let's get rid of this. Let's generate one with Euler array. There we go. There it goes. Getting 1.18 iterations a second. And it's using 8.78 gigs of normal RAM in addition to my 8 gigs of regular RAM on this picture. So, doesn't look like a photo, that's for sure. It's still a kind of a cool picture. Apparently the refiner, which is another part of the SDXL model, which I haven't gotten going yet, helps with that. So let's try another one. Let's try, let's go over here let's go to the prompts to test. Just pick something. There we go, something a little different. Photorealistic photo. That's not how I would have started it. Of a handsome young male wizard, white wizard shirt with gold trim, white robe. DeviantArt HD, ArtStation HD. I'm not to be honest, 100% about. These are a lot of prompts that I grabbed from various places on the internet to just basically test randomly instead of just my style, all the different styles that you might use on SDnext with SDXL. It's pretty good for a base model. His hair looks a little wispy, but not bad. Okay, let's try another one. Okay. So we don't have this LoRa because LoRa's won't work like that. Let's see if this makes anything. This is a very, very basic prompt. Masterpiece, best quality, mecha, no humans. Okay, stop. No humans, that's not correct. Alright, well, it's making it that way anyways. Anything negative, obviously, should be put into this negative prompts thing. No humans. Not really sure that's going to work there, but we'll see. Let's see what happens with that prompt. This is all just for testing. Pretty interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yay. Looks pretty good. It might be. It might be that it's partially trained on that. I'm not sure here. Let's try another one. Let's try. Okay, this one looks chibi. I don't even know what the hell a chibi is. Let's find out. Nothing bad in this one. Wow, this has some pie. Okay, that's fine. All right, let's see what happens. Oh, it's one of those little things. And there's your chibi. That's a chibi with a cool cat. I'll save that for later for, I know a friend who loves the furries. All right, let's see what else we got. Let's look for one that's a little more. This one looks great. Okay. All right, so let's see how this one goes. This is a raw photo of an Asian girl with a beautiful figure. It should be in the forest, hyper detailed, stunningly beautiful. So hopefully nothing too bad comes out. And when I mean bad, I mean NSFW. Wow. So, not the most realistic face, but damn, this is cool the way you can see the same reflection, sort of. This is pretty cool. Let's do another of that one. Worried about the communities. Oh, thanks. I'm not sure what you mean, Dat Caffey, worried about the community. About AI in the community being used? I've been on the receiving end of a number of insults and other demeaning comments, but I don't really care. Adobe's is using it. Lots of places are using it, so sure, I'll try that. I don't know what's going on here. Are we still up? We're still up and running? Yep. Might have crashed on that one. I may have to restart this. Yes, let's just restart that then. One moment. There we go. Just want this. I am running on a 12700K i7 5 gigahertz, and I have 64 gigs of RAM and a 3070 Ti 8 gigabyte card. It's not overclocked or anything though. Okay, it's loading right now. Oh, at my job, I wish I had a 4090. That's for sure. Let me close that. Bam. Okay. Okay, so let's see. It looks like it's starting to generate again. There we go. Let me put this so I can see the corner out of my eye over here. %. Interesting picture. Not really a final result I would want yet, but I'm seeing that the model is very creative as far as like I don't have to in-paint this to make this fancy. I agree with you, Luda Gemma. All right, so that's a pretty great prompt. Let's try. All right, so here's one that I used with the main one I use is Dream Shaper for 1.5. So here is a prompt for one of my characters. And you can see here is a style that I use. Okay. And then these are the stars that make up that character. And actually this should be more granularity, more precision. Okay, I don't know that that gives me more precision, but my characters are very consistent when I use this method. All right, so let's see. Let's get rid of this little anti-art section. Generate. Let's see what happens. And this will probably show the sadness of, well, we haven't done any illustrative ones, so that's what I'm going to do a few of now. Those photo ones have been very good, Dat Coffee, but illustrative ones I got last night were very, they were not good. They were very cartoony. They were not like the ones I get from Dream Shaper, that's for sure. You see what I mean? So this is what it just made. It doesn't work with ControlNet yet. Now, on the other hand, with the same, who is that? Okay, so that is, okay, hold on. Why can't I open this here? 1 second, I'm just trying to open a picture so you guys can see it. I don't know why it's not opening here. I don't know why this isn't opening. Open with. Well, you know what I'll do is I'll just show my whole screen. That's fine. So that same prompt, So here we're looking at this picture, okay, which looks very cartoony to me. I could never use that. That's not goodest. But let me go to full screen for a moment. Okay. Oops. Full screen. There we go. Okay, so if I look at this picture, this is what Dream Shaper makes for that character. Very elaborate pictures, in fact. Like, let's see here. So, at the moment, that's not, no. That's not going to work. So, you know, it's looking like that the new model might be pruned of artists quite a bit. Let's check. Okay. So let's put this one in. Now while that's generating, I'm going to pull out the other one that this made. Here. Here is what, yeah, once you can train on him, here is what Dream Shaper made with my prompt. I mean, that character is really good. My player was like, "Are you joking me?" I mean, it's the detail on the aura. He even has an amulet that has the ring of wishes that he has one left. So now, on the other hand, SDnext. That looks like something that I would find out of a video game. Okay. Gemma said it before I could say it. It looks like something that you would see out of like a CGI render. So there's no comparison. But this is a very highly fine-tuned, model Dream Shaper that made that. So let's try another one. Let's try a dwarf. And while that's generating, I'll see if I can speed this up. I'll grab one more. Let's do Brittany. Whoa. Okay, so one moment. Let me show you guys something here. Where is it? So this is going to be characters. No. Portraits. Wonder where that is. 1 second, guys. Let me just find something because I want to just show you a difference. It's not in this one. No. Is it in this one? Ah, yes. Okay. Here's what Dream Shaper makes with my prompt for one of the characters in my game. Very, works out very specifically to have a very, now he's supposed to be a dwarf, so I need to make him a little shorter, right? But this is not going to cut it. So it looks like from testing so far last night and today that it's much better at photos than actual art. So let's real fast copy. So here's one of my persistent characters. She is made from a girl from The Flash, a girl from Firefly, and Halle Berry. Yeah, there's going to be some checking on prompting. Like I said in the beginning, you can always just type in like Boris Vallejo or just a name, and by doing that, you will it'll make a picture of just whatever comes to mind, and you can actually see if that artist is in your model, the SDXL base model. Okay, so I bet this one, since it's a photo, comes out awesome. That is not bad. There's a little bit of fixing I would want to do to make it perfect, but my God, for the base model to have such a good photo. Let me do another one. See how with the consistency, if my characters come out the same with the same for the way I do my formulas here. Is it going? Yeah, there it goes. Looks pretty close to the same. Oh, we got still a little hand issue, but she looks pretty good. All right, so what I'm going to do real fast is I'm just going to go to my system information. So for anyone who's having problems with installs, okay, you can see what I'm using here. Okay, what versions, what my video card is, performance. I can't really talk about it too much, but I do a lot. I've done a lot of hand corrections, talking about all the different stuff going on. It does have the model wrong, which is interesting, but it would. Now I don't think inpainting works with this new model though. SDXL. I would have to reload the program with a 1.5 model in order to do inpainting. I'd have to save it to my desktop or wherever, and then reload it. No, LoRa's, so textual inversions and LoRa's only work either on 1.5 or 2 or 2.1 or whatever they're trained on. So for XL, they'll have to be new everything. So, and remember, yeah, but if you kept your training photos in an organized place in an OCD manner, like I would, although my training has never really worked right, but you might still have them all cropped and named. Although I think, though, you crop them to 1K instead of 512 for training, because the standard for XL is 1K. I'm not sure on that, though. I couldn't tell you for sure. But just so you guys can see one more time before we finish, this is the list of other pipelines that appear to be coming. So Deep Floyd IF is going to be unbelievable. I'm very excited to be able to try those other. Yes, yes, ooh is yes. So I hope everyone who watched or takes a look at this video later from the beginning can see all the install steps that we went through, and really it's very similar to install SDnext as automatic 1111. It requires Git and it requires Python, and you know, in my opinion, it's better than automatic 1111 in most ways. There's a few things that automatic 1111 has that are not quite there yet with SDnext, but in general, SDnext is faster, has better settings layout. I have my UI set to the original automatic 1111 look, but you know, it's very good. And I have things like Mini Paint, which is like a program where I can send something to do Photoshop type work. I've got 3D Open Pose, which allows me to change the rotation of characters in some pretty crazy ways. Deform is for making awesome videos. Haku Image is for layering images together. And the new one I'm going to try soon is this temporal kit. I'm not sure what it does, but looks fun. Looks fun. So, all right. So you guys have a good afternoon. I'm the Prompt Wizard, and I hope that that the stream was entertaining as well as educational. All right. Have a good afternoon.